Hi, it's Vex. Today, back to nostalgia. Back to Mana Burn. That's right, we have another deck tech with our friend Yurlock of the Scorch Thrash. Yurlock. I know it sounds so much like Yurlok, as in the Panamaticon dude, but this is the Mana Burn commander from Commander Legends. I opened it up in my first box of Commander Legends, a etch foil. Looks so neat. Let's look at it right here. Oh man, looks beautiful. I know because of the Commander Legends collector boosters, these etch foils aren't worth that much because they're super common. You buy a box of Commander Legends Commander Legends collector boosters, you get 36 etch foils. So not so rare if you get a collector booster box. But a regular booster box, you get one per box, so they are kind of rare. So anyways, back to what Yurlock does is Vigilance. A player losing unspent mana causes that player to lose that much life. One tap, each player adds black, red, green. So they definitely added this one, so you can't go infinite easily go infinite. Essentially, it adds, if you have 4-player pod right here, that's 12 mana for 1 mana. That's insane, but you don't get all 12 mana. Eventually, maybe they'll print a card saying steal your opponent's mana on your turn. Who knows? Then this would be insane, but that card does not exist yet. So what this card does is introduce back Mana Burn in the exact same rules text that Mana Burn used to be before they eliminated it. Essentially, the player losing unspent mana causes that player to lose that much life. So what happens is when you end steps and phases, and if you have mana in your mana pool, it would just empty. Like normally, it would just empty, and then you won't take any damage. Oops, sorry. But now, when you move from one phase to another phase or step to another step, your mana pool empties and you take life. This does not use the stack, by the way. I had to look up that rule. You just take the damage. Then if you take damage and it causes something else to trigger, it'll trigger on the next step. So I know the rules are really weird about how this works. For instance, if you have one of those things that say every 1 life a player loses, you gain a life. You'll lose life at the end. Let's say end of your pre-combat main phase, you're going to combat, and then you say, okay, I have 3 mana in my mana pool. I move to the next phase. You'll take the 3 life, and then during your beginning of pre-combat main phase, the trigger goes on the stack saying that you will gain that life if you have one of those cards. Again, I'm not a rules judge, but I did look it up, and I believe that's how it works. I know it's very tricky in the rules, but that's how it works. Anyways, back to our regular scheduled program again. So what you want to do is essentially give all your players mana at a very inopportune time, and then have them just use the 3 mana and get mana burnt for 3 because they can't. Receive 3 mana, get mana burnt for 3 because they can't use the mana. That's the plan of the deck. This deck is kind of like a Punisher deck, meaning that sometimes you want to, end games quick. Let's say you have 4 or 5 minutes left. You're like, oh, can we play another game? I can't play another 2-hour game. Let's just play a quick game. You bring out your quick deck, like your lock, bam. Because this forces you to just spend mana, gives opponents tons of mana. It could backfire by giving them extra mana, but gives people more mana quickly and helps games move forward, and also does constant damage by using Mana Burn. So this deck is cool for quick sessions, and also if you like to punish your opponents for being for playing lands. So anyways, let's get into the deck. Before we actually get into individual cards, there is obviously an infinite combo with Yurlock. And infinite combo meaning that you just add infinite mana to somebody's mana pool, and if they don't have like a Comet Storm or any way to use it at instant speed, you will mana burn them to death. That's essentially how it works. That's definitely why they added a 1 tap. So going infinite is much harder, because what happens is, let's move this aside, is that if you tap this, you pay 1, tap this for 3, you net 2, and usually the untappers cost 3, so you have to pay 3 an extra mana to untap, and then pay an extra mana to tap Yurlock. Remember, every time you tap Yurlok, you get 3, but each opponent gets 3 as well. So each player gets 3. So the infinite mana combos is you need to have him add 4 mana, and then a 3 mana untapper to go infinite. Essentially, I'll show you here, adding Nyxbloom Ancient here. Triples your mana, and only when you tap it, it triples your mana. So this has Yurlok add 6 mana to each person's mana pool. Then if you have 3 mana untapper, so as I said, 3 mana untapper is kind of like this right here. Sort of the prunes. Right here, you pay 3, tap or untap equip creature, so you gotta equip it for 3, and then tap or untap. That's the 3 mana untapper right here. So essentially you have Nyxbloom Ancient will give you 6 mana, which is plenty of mana. Or Leyline of Abundance will give you, whenever you tap a creature for mana, it adds additional 1 green. So how this works is, let's say hypothetically you got Sword of Prunes equipped to your, look at this token out of the way, to your Yurlok right here. You would pay 1 from a land or wherever, tap it for 4. Let's say you got Leyline of Abundance on the battlefield, tap it for 4. Pay 3, untap it, pay 1, so this is all 4 of your mana, and tap it again for 4. So what happens is you'll end up with 0 mana, but all your opponents will end up with infinite mana, essentially. And then you just say, I end my phase or step. Then their mana pool will drain, and they'll just die from mana burn. So that's how that works. Umbra Mantle does the same thing. Essentially, you pay 3 and untap. Essentially, you can make your lock infinitely big. So the cool part about it is let's say you don't have these mana doublers or these combo pieces. You can just pay 3 right here. Pay 1, tap and pay 3 to untap. Right here, he gets +2, so he gets 6/6. And then you pay another 1. So for each 1 mana, you can give Yurlok +2/+2 with this Umbral Mantle right here, and then attack with Vigilance, and then in the middle of combat, tap him again for 1 mana. So you don't need to go infinite to do damage, but like you can add a bunch of mana to some opponent's mana pool. You can also use it as a politicking tool. Be like, hey, I'll give you 3 mana if you help me out, or something like that. Stuff like that. You also use Sword of Domination, Staff of Domination, not Sword. But you need more than 3 mana. So you need 1 mana to untap itself, Staff of Domination. You need 3 mana to untap target creature, so you need a total of 5 mana. So this staff only works with the Nyxbloom Ancient and doesn't work with Leyline of Abundance. But you also have to remember with Yurlok that you have mana burn too. So you need to find ways to have mana sinks. And the cool part about this is a combo piece, but it's also a mana sink. You pay 8 mana, put +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So Leyline of Abundance does 2 things: enables your infinite combo, or have a mana sink. So those are the combo pieces right there. Put them aside. So I want to use Belby here. Corrupted Observer, 1 new card from Commander Legends. And it says, at the beginning of each player's post-combat main phase, that player adds 2 colors for each of your opponents who lost life this turn. So what you can do is, let's say you've got an opponent that has no cards in hand. You could just, in their combat step, use Yurlok to add mana, and they can't use it, and then which forces them to add, 2 colorless, 6 colorless mana total. Let's say you mana burn everybody. Add 6 colors, you mana burn that opponent for 3, for 6. So it's pretty cool. Again, this helps games move fast because you're adding a lot of mana to everybody's mana pool. And again, this could also backfire, but it's fun. You don't need to win to have fun. This deck is all about having fun doing mana burn. So Belby is really good at adding mana to everybody's mana pool. And you have Uzuku, Caller of Autumn. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player adds 3 green mana pool. This mana doesn't cause, well, this has been errated. This mana doesn't cause mana burn, has been removed from the card text. Until end of turn, this mana doesn't empty from the player's mana pool as phases end. And then it empties at end of turn. There's 3 green. So again, if you keep adding mana to people's mana pool, they might not be able to use it all. Mana burn. Eldrami's Vineyard. Give each player's main phase, add 2 green. So again, adds more mana. Gives people lots of mana. So you just Again, makes the game faster, which is really cool. Max of the Vineyard, which is, again, Eladomri's Vineyard. Same thing, but on creature form. So these are the mana doublers for symmetric mana doublers for everybody. So again, you're adding lots of mana, moving the game fast, hopefully causing lots of mana burn. Zerta Ancient, where a player taps a land for mana, that player adds 1 mana to their mana pool for any type that land produced. So just again, you know, doubles the mana. Heartbeat of Spring doubles the mana. Mana Flare doubles the mana. It's like old school card. I'm using old school alpha or original set cards. Mana Flare. Overabundance, same text, but it has a additional clause here. Let's read the whole thing. Where a player taps a land for mana, that player adds 1 additional mana to their mana pool of the same type. And Overabundance deals 1 damage to them. So, you know, deals extra. So anytime anybody taps their mana, you get an extra mana and you take 1 damage. Remember, the symmetrical hurts you too. And then if you can't use extra mana, you get mana burn with Yurlok. Dictative Karametra, Thrash type Mana Flare. That's really good. All right, so now we're adding a lot of mana. So our opponents can take advantage of it, but we want to take advantage of it better. So the way we can take advantage of it better is mana sinks. So these are our finishers when we have a lot of mana doubling, and this is one of the mana sinks that really can help us out. Torment of Hailfire. You don't need to kill somebody. You can just, you know, put them down an ungodly amount of life, cards, or permanents. Exsanguinate. Very good at gaining life back, so you can mana burn yourself some more. Comet Storm, this is an instant way. So if an opponent has Comet Storm and you give them infinite mana, you might die. But hey, that's how we roll with this deck. We take a risk. Comet Storm, Walking Ballista. Again, you can mana sink the mana cost, or you can pay forward, put counter on it. Good mana sink. So one of the cards I really love is Cavalier of Flame. It's a cheap mana sink because you can always pay 1 in red, pump things and give things haste. It also does damage when it enters the battlefield. You can, you know, kind of loot, rummage, I guess. And then when it dies, it deals some more damage. So it's good mana, very good, cheap mana sink. Soul of Chandelar. This could be like a win condition, very slow win condition. You could pay 5 mana, deal 3 damage to a player or a creature that you use in the grave. Again, more mana sink. And these mana sinks don't have to be super efficient, but at least they could just take your mana so you don't burn yourself to death. Theater of Horrors is also a kill condition and mana sink, and a card advantage engine. So it does a lot of things. So what it does is, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile top card of your library. During your turn, if an opponent lost life this turn, you may play cards exile with Theater of Horrors, so you can have them lose life via mana burn or its own activated ability, which is a mana sink as well. 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker, so good mana sink. I love this new card from Zendikar Rising, Crawling Barrens. So you can pay 4 mana, you don't have to tap it or anything. You put 2 counters on Crawling Barrens, and then optionally, you may have it become a 0/0 elemental creature. So you technically just pay 4, put 2 counters on it, and just keep it as a land. Very good card. This isn't technically a mana sink, but it helps you from not losing mana. It just, Horizon Stone, another Command Legends card. It's not the most efficient card for a deck, but again, I like trying out new things from the new sets. It just helps you keep your mana in your mana pool, so you never actually lose the mana. All right, so moving on to the fun stuff. I call it, this is like a Punisher deck called Group Slug deck. So I really like some of these Punisher cards. You know, like ramp decks, everybody has a landfall deck, everybody has a ramp deck, everybody's playing green, everybody's playing Kadama's Reach, Cultivate, Farseek, 3 visits now. We need to punish all those lands and ramp. So we have these Punisher cards here. Stone Shaker Shaman. So I know these Punisher cards aren't common, so I'll just read most of them off to you. At the end of each player's turn, that player sacrifices an untapped land. So that forces you to tap all your lands, and if you have mana doublers, you're forced to tap it. And if you have no way to use it, you either sack the land by not tapping it, or just take mana burn. So it's pretty cool. Again, from the alpha set, I have the revised version, Mana Barbs. Every time you tap a land, it does 1 damage. Burning Earth, every time you tap a non-basic land, which everybody has now because they're playing 4 or 5 color good stuff, it does 1 damage to that player. These are symmetrical effects. It does 1 damage to you too, so just also remember that. But you have mana sinks to sink this mana in. War's Toll, where opponent taps a land, so not you, which is great. Tap all lands that players control, so they tap everything during their main phase, pre-combat mana phase, tap all the lands. so they can't play anything else, like, you know, in combat or whatever. And if a creature an opponent controls attacks, all creatures that opponent controls attacks if able. It does have to attack the same opponent, but all the creatures have to attack. So it's a pretty good Punisher card right here. Force them to tap lands. Again, if they have, the only way to, so this trigger taps all land that player controls, doesn't actually force them to take mana, but it does, you know, keep them from not having lands on your turn when you want to mana burn them. It helps you out here. Polluted Bonds. Again, this is really good against ramp deck. I know, unfortunately, it costs 5 mana, but you might be able to ramp your commander out quickly too. Whenever land enters the battlefield, opponent under opponent's control, that player, you know, loses 2, you gain 2. So very good here. Forces them to pay for their lands. You gain life, so it helps you with your mana burn. Whenever land enters the battlefield, tap all lands its controller controls. This also affects you too, but yeah, mana sinks. Price of Glory. Oh, this is one of the fun cards here. Whenever a player taps a land for mana during another player's turn, destroy that land. So they try to do some shenanigans during your turn, it'll get destroyed. They might just do it just in case. I mean, it's worth the sacrifice if they're about to die or something. But this is a really cool card. Remember, again, symmetrical effect. Don't tap your land and kill your own lands. Citadel of Pain, another fun card. At the end of each player's turn, Citadel of Pain deals X damage to that player with X the number of untapped lands they control. So that forces them to tap mana and either take X damage or take mana burn mana. So who knows? You know, it does damage. Power Surge, I know it's got a wall of text. Is basically when you untap a land, Power Surge deals 1 damage to that player. Again, including you too. Remember that. Wait. Power Surge, another card from the original set. Basically, for each untapped, I know it's got a wall of text. For each untapped land during their beginning of turn, for each land they have untapped, they take 1 damage. So it's really good. Harsh Mentor. This is not symmetrical. I know all the newer cards are not symmetrical nowadays. So when an opponent activates the ability of artifact, creature, or land, it deals 2 damage to them. Karavak the Merciless. I love this card. When an opponent casts a spell, it deals damage to that opponent player with a spell's converted mana cost. That's pretty neat. Cindervines. This is double duty. It's a Punisher card because it does 1 damage when they cast a non-creature spell, and also can destroy an artifact or enchantment. It's really good. Oh, another favorite. I love these cards. I just love making my opponents miserable sometimes. And Painful Quandary, really good. When they cast a spell, lose 5 life, discard a card. Or discard card. Great. Void Winnower. Oh man, this is insanely good. It just blocks your opponent from casting creatures spells with even converted mana costs. And if they get all this mana, they can't use it. Void Winnower kind of like shuts them down. So it's really good. Wound Reflection doubles the amount of damage that mana burn does. Good. This is the cool part here. So now we have some. I call these protection cards, but this is also helps with mana burn. Players can't play spells. Players can only play spells during their own turns. So Dozen the Fallen Leaf. This is amazing because you can just give them tons of mana and they can't play a spell with the mana because of Dozen. So another protection spell protects you from flying creatures, but also gives you a worm. Again, we might be making lots of mana with Yurlock, not Yurlock, sorry. So you make worms and you protect yourself from flying creatures. Heroic Intervention, they might have some kind of austere command killer enchantments. You need to protect them all. It's very good for that. You need to protect your commander, give him haste, you know, make some mana quickly. Swiftfoot Boots, Lightning Greaves, the two booting staples of commander. Here we go to some removal spells. Assassin's Trophy, very good guard removal. Beast Within removes anything. So it's kind of like Assassin's Trophy. This gives them a land, which they could tap for more mana and mana burn themselves. So hey, why not? Beast Within gives them creature. I just love this card, Windgrace's Judgment. It just kills a permanent from each player. It's an instant. We have these modal double face cards here. Shatter Skull Smashing. Again, this kind of can be a mana sink as well too, or it could be a land if you need it. Right here, Shatter Skull, the Hammer Pass. Removal here, Toxic Deluge, good board wipe, Blasphemous Act. These are staples, staple of black. I consider this staple over Damnation because it's so cheap to do. You could pay 2 Demonic Tutor for it, pay 3, so you have 5 mana total. You could do Deluge with Demonic Tutor. Blasphemous Act is really cheap. Could cost most of the time costs 1 red. Let's have some of the tutors. Demonic Tutor. Again, I don't like to add too many tutors. I usually Demonic Tutor, that's about it. I have Vampiric Tutor since it's in the Commander Legends set. Future deck techs probably won't have it unless it's a high-powered deck tech, but Vampiric Tutor since it's in the set. You might open it, so why not? Have fun. Some card advantage for yourself, Phyrexian Arena. I'm starting to use this for a lot of my decks, my black decks now, because I feel like it's just such good card advantage. No one's going to really destroy it. Maybe they will, but it sits out on the board for a long time. It's really good. Agadine's Awakening, very good as a land. Again, a mana sink if you need it. Valakut Awakening, I know all these awakenings. Can use it as a land. Can recycle away some Punisher cards that might kill you. So again, it's good here. Valged Recovery, a regrowth as a land. Some Graveyard Hate, some utility cards here. Rakdos Charm, good Graveyard Hate, Artifact Hate, deals damage to a token maker, your token making opponent. Very good versatile card. I'm starting to include this in all my Rakdos decks now. Anybody has black and red. A very versatile card. Graveyard Hate is at premium nowadays. So many people play with the Graveyard. You gotta have Graveyard Hate. I have 2 pieces of Graveyard Hate in this deck, and I think that might not be enough. It's so hard to squeeze in 3 pieces because you need something flexible like Rakdos Charm, and I'm still looking for that really flexible one, but we'll get there one day. Some ramp, Sakura Tribe Elder, ramp. You need a low ramp to try to get your commander, like 2 mana ramp, so you have 4 mana commander to get out on turn 3. Zeratal Druid. I actually like this one because it does 1 damage to each opponent when you tap it, so it's pretty fun. So this one works with Leyline of Abundance. This is the only card that actually works with it other than your commander. So just remember that. Farseek, Nature's Lore, Rampant Growth. So all the 2 mana ramp spells. 3 visits. Now before we never had 3 visits because we never actually owned one because I wasn't paying $200 for one of these. But now these are like uncommon in Commander Legends. Amazing. Soul Ring. See, I will applaud Wizards for actually printing a $200 card at uncommon. I give them props for that. All right, back to the program again. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, all the goodies. So here are the mana ramp that ramps you, but also can possibly add mana to your opponent's mana pool. Victory Chimes untaps during each other player's untap step. And a player choice adds a colorless. There we go. Spectral Searchlight, just reprinted in Commander Legends, maybe just for your Yurlok. Choose a player. That player adds 1 mana of any color they choose. This is my pet card when it came out in original Ravnica, and Mana Burn was still a rule. I would love I just wanted to play with 4 of these cards and just Mana Burn somebody to death in like a standard deck, not Commander. That'd be cool. All right, so we have our just land base. We go over really quickly here. Our rainbow lands. Command Tower. Every time I play 3 colors, I always play Exotic Orchard because usually opponents have my colors most of the time. Very good. Savage lands. They do not have the land type ones for the Shards of Alara lands yet, but one day, who knows? So some dual lands, some of these shock lands here, shock lands, buddy lands, fetch lands right here. We have this new Undergrowth Stadium, the Battle Bond lands, so now we have all 3, which is pretty neat. We have these basic land type cycling lands. So just in case we have too much mana, we might be able to, again, mana sink out these, cycle these with our extra mana. Nurturing Peatland, because this doesn't have the enemy cycle yet. So we put this here to, again, trade your lands for cards. Might be valuable with all your Punisher cards that kill your lands. Jugo Bog, Graveyard Hate. Again, there's so many graveyard decks now, like a Rumi and stuff. Graveyard Hate's good. Strip Mine. Hey, sometimes you need to get rid of a land. And it looks pretty cool with the Zendikar Rising Expedition here. Some basic lands here. All right, so let's see how this deck performs. I'm going to shuffle it up. We're going to goldfish a hand, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. So, here's trusty dice, turn 1. See what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here. All right. Farseek ramp is good. Okay. We got some mana tripler here. So you give them tons of mana. Some ramp. Mana +1. I want to say doubler, but if you have lots of these, it doesn't double mana. I think it's just +1. So how this works, actually, these two, again, I had to look this up. This this +1, let's say you tap a land, you have both these on the battlefield. The +1, the mixed land, this would triple, right? And this would just add one more. So just 3 + 1, 4 total. It doesn't like 6x. It doesn't triple the additional one, doesn't triple this one here. So that's how that works here. So yeah, these two on, you get 4 mana instead of just 1. Okay, anyways, let's start. It's a good hand. You got Dozin right here. So this is good with your Yurlok. Right there, you got 3 lands, ramp, all the mana in the world. That's what you're trying to do, trying to mana burn, so you need lots of mana. Okay, let's see what we got. Boom. Ooh, Umberment. Whoa. Is this a combo? Right there. Oh, man, we might be able to kill him quick. Again, we're looking for quick games. Why not be quicker about it, right? Turn 1 Savage Lands. Right? No turn 1 Soul Ring, unfortunately. It is what it is. Turn 2, we know exactly what we're going to do. We got ramp. Overgrown Tomb. So let's see here. We have 2 swamps. We need lots of green mana. Triple green for this guy here. I know Yurlok does 1 green. So we'll do this. We got tons of black mana. So we're going to get a Stomping Grounds, I think. So let's put this here. We're going to cast our Farseek here. Get our Stomping Grounds. See where that is. Here. Actually, what we want is we don't want Stomping Grounds because kind of play tapped. We want the Shelter Thicket. There we go. Because Stomping Grounds, if we draw it later on, we could have the option of having it come and play untapped. Get Shelter Thicket, since it always comes into play tapped. So I know you gotta do be careful with your lands once you have more. There's more lands with basic land types in them now. Always try to fetch the right one at the right time. Anyways, shuffle our deck, untap with our beautiful lands here. Go to turn 3. Oops. Oh no, I'm just losing things left and right here. All right. Draw a card. Boom. Assassin's Trophy is not a bad card. Okay. So what we're going to do is I think we're going to play our commander, right? Should we play our commander? Or should we do... Well, we don't want to give everybody mana and not be able to do anything with it. So let's just play our commander here. And then see what we can do next turn, right? Let's just sneak out some stuff next turn. Or just, if we're really reckless, let's just do it, right? No, let's do our commander. We're not that reckless. Not yet. Oh, there's only 1 token in this deck, the Worm token from Sandstorm Convergence, so I'll just put it to the side here. Turn 3, all right. So we did our commander, turn 4. See, that's what we want, the 2 mana ramp, so we can get our commander out in turn 3, where everybody's still building up their board position and they just want to continue building up their board position and not really go after your commander. Bam, Belby. Oh, that's pretty neat. It has a lot of mana. All right, see what we can do. Let's just let's go for a gold. This is shocking our Overgrown Tomb. Take 2 damage. Remember, we have 3 from here. So now we could do. Can we do Nyx Bloom Ancient and do some mana doubling? We got 3 here. Oh, plus 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So no, we can't do anything with that yet. Can we do Overabundance? Yeah, let's do that. Let's pay 1, tap our commander since Overabundance does lands, right? Player taps a land. We'll just tap our commander, play Overabundance. All right, so let's see what we can do here. We played Overabundance with our commander. I don't think we could win this turn. We just really clamped on mana. I know it's kind of funny we're clamped on mana when we have 8 mana ready to go. So let's just set up for next turn, the win for next turn. We want to hide these things or just play one of them and hide the other one. Play Dozin here. So we'll tap this for double green, double black. So 1 floating. Dozin the Fallen Leaf. Right here, protect ourselves from opponents playing spells. Here. Now we have 1 black floating. We could do the double green here. So yeah, a black, double green. What we can do is play Belby. So again, we're setting ourselves up. Play Belby, Corrupted Observer. And then we have the 1 green left and double black. We could play Umber Mantle. So what we can do is now that they probably have 3 in their pool from Yurlok, we pass the turn. this is doing the pre-combat main phase. We pass through combat. Post-combat main phase, we had 6, so we could do Umber Mantle equipped Yurlok here, and use the 3 mana to equip, actually 0 to equip Yurlok. Could we have won this turn? And then we have 6 mana, so what we could do is untap it for 3, right? Because we got 6 mana with Belby here. Pay 1, tap for 3, right? Untap it. No, we can't. We can do a lot of damage. Let's just do a lot of damage. Pay another 1. So we have one colorless left in our pool. Untap and use our last colorless. Because like to untap, use Yurlok's mana to untap, and then pay more 1 at 3. So you've done Yurlok 4 times with 12 mana per person. So you could deal 12 each person. Dozen for protection. Anyways, oops, it's turn 4. All right, next turn, turn 5. Let's see what we could do. I believe we could win this turn. If they don't interact with us on turn 5, we could win this turn. All right, Polluted Bonds. Nyx Bloom Ancient right here. So, obviously we just tap 4 mana, 5, 6, 7, 8. We play Nyx Bloom Ancient onto the battlefield. Again, you're this triple amount of mana. You have Dozen to protect you. You tap this for 9 mana right here. Use 3 to untap. And then you have 6 mana left. Use 1, so you have 5 mana left to tap for 9 mana again. Give everybody mana burn. Pass from your pre-combat to your combat step. Everybody dies. You win the game. 5 turns. See? Again, this is a lucky draw. I'll admit it. Like I was lucky to naturally draw the combo piece here. But the games go fast. You give people tons of mana. Again, you're doubling with overabundance. So you essentially just ramped everybody. You doubled everybody's mana in 1 turn. So they probably will interact with you. But yeah, Polluted Bonds. So essentially, you're gonna sit there, hopefully mana burn to death with Yurlok. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I think this deck is really, really fun. Again, your opponents might not, but you are giving them tons of mana. You're speeding up the game. Game could last 5 turns. I believe with Yurlok down, the game is much, much quicker. And sometimes those quick games are really enjoyable, other than sitting there slugfesting it out. Slugfest games are fun if you have time, but sometimes my play groups are like, we want one more game, but we want your fastest deck. So Yurlok is a good time to pull it out right there. Anyways, question to the viewer, do you like faster games sometimes? Does your play group do what my play group does and say, look, we want to play one more game, but it's got to be fast. Let's get our fast, heavy hitters out. Yeah, leave your answers in the comments below. Tell me how you like it. Fast, slow, medium pace. Some people love stacks decks and do nothing. But it's up to you guys. I like all types of games, but sometimes I don't have time for a quick one. This really helps out. That's all we have for today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Smash the subscribe button. Help support the channel. Help me get more edge foils. Ooh, looks nice. So I can do more deck techs. The deck techs are super fun. I love doing them. If you want to also support me, I have a TCG player affiliate link in the description below. I have a Patreon if you want to sign up. Again, no obligation. You just watch the video. That's really helpful and supportful in its own way. And as always, have a wonderful day.